There are periods in my life where I find that music suddenly has much more meaning to me, where I'm able to like get a lot more, I guess, signals from what I'm listening to. My emotions will be much more vivid and frequent. And then, when I meditate, I'll get much more information, or really like I'll become more soothed. Um, but I don't find that, like, I'm trying to figure out, is this a way that I'm being encouraged by the LCS? Um, because I don't really, I feel like I don't make the most of these opportunities. And then they pass. And I don't know if I'm making a mistake by thinking like that's what life should be like, that emotionally vivid all the time, um, and intense, but not, extremely intense, but more like, just palpable. Um, is that a loss of credibility? And what can we do to overcome laziness and improve our credibility with the LCS? Yeah, maybe that's my
Okay,
question.
Matthew, you you think too much sometimes. You overthink issues, and that overthinking tends to create problems. Am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? Am I doing this wrong? And what does this mean? And a lot of it you just need to experience and let it go and let it be the way it is, and not try to analyze everything. Now, the reason that people analyze everything is because they don't want to make a mistake. They don't want to do it wrong. That's why they analyze it. That's the fear of making a mistake, not being good enough, doing it wrong. So they want to analyze it to death to make sure they don't make that mistake, that they glean and reap every opportunity that's there and they don't miss anything. So they're Johnny on the spot, inspecting everything and looking at it from every direction to make sure they optimize and do it right. Well, what that does is it just creates a lot of content that isn't useful. You create a lot of issues, a lot of what ifs, a lot of fears, a lot of, well, look, geez, I can see there's probably 1,000 ways to do this wrong, and only maybe one or two ways to do it right. And I don't know. And it just gets you all balled up in a wad where you can't act and can't think, and you don't know where, you don't know which way is up because you're just overthinking the process so much. And, that's one thing. So we'll just throw that out there. That's one thing. I know that's not a surprise to you. You've been struggling with that for some time. But, so there's that. Yes, you overthink, you turn things that are simple, make mountains out of molehills in a sense. You just enjoy your music, enjoy your life, go through it. Don't take it quite so seriously. So have more fun, I guess, would be the bottom line to that. Just have more fun and don't try so hard. Trying too hard often gets in the way. All right. The other thing is that music is emotional. Music brings us, produces a lot of feelings. Music has the wonderful attribute of being non-confrontational. Music doesn't tell us that we're wrong. Music doesn't challenge us in ways. Music is just there to let us go with it however it takes us. It's a positive thing. It's a relaxing thing. It can be an escape if you have it all the time. You can't get by a moment of life without it. It becomes an escapist thing, which then isn't so good. But in general, we need sometimes to just relax, to let go, to let our mind wander and our emotions float free. And music will do that for us. And it's a great release, a great place to relax and let go. So enjoy the music. Let it be an important part of your life. Don't let it dominate your life, because it doesn't confront you. It doesn't demand anything of you. It doesn't judge you. You see, life does all of those things as you see it. Life confronts you, demands things of you, and so on. And that's what makes life kind of scary for you. But music doesn't. It just is. It's pleasant, non-confrontational, non-demanding, non-judging, nice. So it's a pleasant place to be. And I think everybody can use that relationship with music very profitably. Just relax and let everything else disappear. So there's nothing in your whole reality except that sound. And you're just going with that sound. Your emotions are going with the sound. And sure, do that and enjoy it, but don't become dependent on it. It's just there for a relaxation. It's not your life. You still have to go out there, even if you're a musician. You know, it's the music is what you do, and you might say that it's your life, but actually all those people you bump into out there between times when you're playing, that's your life. You know, that's your life too. So you can't let just listening to music take over. You still have to deal with those things, but don't overthink it. You're doing fine. Enjoy your music, interact with people, do the best you can. Let the chips fall where they may. Look back at them later and say, well, what could I have changed? Don't try to remake yourself wholly. Just say, what one thing, just one small thing could I have changed there? And then work on that one small thing. If you try to take everything on at once, you get overwhelmed. So have more fun. Enjoy your music. Don't get wadded up in your thoughts of being inadequate and making wrong choices. Think about the choice you make and say, well, you know, okay, I'll do this. Do it. Don't second guess it. Do it. Do it for a month. Do it for a year. Just keep doing it until the results are clear of doing that. And when the results are clear, learn from it. When you learn from it, change yourself. No, that may take another year. Change yourself. And now you're ready for the next one. And that's how you grow up. Not all at once, but just one step at a time. And you have fun all along the way. Yeah.
It's amazing as always, because, you know, you're always answering questions that I have, but I'm a little like too nervous to ask, or like, you know, something that I'm beginning to obsess over, like, oh, I need to make a transformative change. I need to do this. You know, you take the words right out of my head. I mean, it's just unbelievable. If I can ask one small follow-up, and you could be brief, is that there's certain pursuits that I've kind of obsessed over. And I don't know if this comes from, like, you know, just how I was raised, but you know, there's like an idea that like I need a niche, and, you know, or a calling. And sometimes I think, like, you know, I guess it should be writing, or there's something that like really should be, you know, drawing me in, or that I feel drawn to, and I've gotten a lot of like good response with. But, you know, like you said, music doesn't confront you, but writing, oh my God, every, you know, every sentence, every word requires, or could require, deliberation.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder what you could say to people, if we have some sort of, you know, obsessions or pursuits they either were on or want to embark on. How can you tell whether or not it's something that's just an intellectual fixation, or something that's like really calling you from, you know, fundamental to your being or your path?
Okay. Well, when you're inside of it as you are, you can't tell. You really can't tell the difference. So don't beat yourself up that you can't tell the difference at an inside from where you are. Now, when you've gotten rid of all your fear and your ego and your beliefs, oh, it'll be trivial. You'll know immediately. But where you are right now, you can't tell. It's just not going to be easy to tell. So I'd say pick something that you want to do, that you want, you know, you want to try, and just try it. Throw yourself into it. Do it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't say, well, I've worked on this now for a week and I just don't seem to be getting better at it. Well, that's not helpful. Probably for the first year, you're maybe going to get worse at it, because you're going to discover all kinds of mistakes and misperceptions and things that you've done wrong. and you may spend a long time getting worse at it before you get better at it, because there's a lot of things you have to learn, you see. So you tend to beat yourself up, right away, if, oh, let me try something. Well, okay, I've been doing this for 10 minutes and I haven't had success yet. Oh, I must be a failure. It's you're way, way too hard on yourself. Try it. If you want to write, yes, that's a challenge. Hey, I'm a scientist. I'm a physics major, and I had to write a book. That was not easy, in the sense that, English, though it was my first language, wasn't something that I was very good at as far as the writing books. I learned a lot. I made a lot of mistakes, and I learned a lot. And yeah, I went over it 50 times, then went over it again. And it's like trying to hoe a garden. You go through it one spring and you think you got all the rocks out, and next spring it's full of rocks again. Where'd they come from? And then you get rid of all of them, and next spring you hoe it out again, and it's full of rocks. Where'd they come from? It was just like that. There didn't seem to be ever any time when I couldn't find errors that I was making. But I don't get upset with that. That's just learning. That's the way it is. So if you want to do something, it may not be the thing for you, but you don't know if you don't give it a good try. So give it a good try over a length of time, and don't jump into it with like you're going to be a wizard in a week. Jump into it with the idea that this is for the long haul. It's something you're really interested in. Now, if a month goes by and you start losing interest in it, then that tells you it probably really wasn't the thing. It was just something you thought might be the thing. The thing that really is going to work for you will be something that, a month, 2 months, 3 months into it, you're still focused on it. It's still challenging you. You're still working at it. So that's kind of a way for you to tell, what's just my mind buzzing in some sort of obsession, and what's the real thing. You should just do it. Pretend like it's the real thing, and see how long your interest lasts. See how much you stay on that. But let me also tell you that a lot of people never figure out what it is they want to be when they grow up. They never get to that point. They never say, oh, I want to do this. I want to grow up and be a lawyer or a doctor or a ditch digger or something. And they just never have anything that they particularly feel like they need to be. And they end up getting a job because they need to pay bills. So they get jobs and they do things, but it's not necessarily what they love or what they really want to do. They still don't know what it is they really want to do. And often they go through their entire life never really coming to some sense of this is what I really want to do. They never get that. That's not necessary. You're here to interact. You're here to connect with people. You're here to make choices and to evolve by the choices. And if you never get a passion for any particular thing, well, that's just your life. You don't have to go there. Some people do, but it's not like, well, I'm not fulfilled if I don't find my passion and do it. That's not necessarily the case. For some people, particularly those who have a kind of a mission, yes, they're driven to a particular direction. But a lot of people live their whole life and never find that one thing that, they were meant to do, because there really isn't any one thing. They don't tend to love their jobs. Hey, maybe the job's okay. I don't mind it. But they don't have that kind of passion. Some people do. It's just different things. Some incarnations you probably will, and some others you probably won't. So don't necessarily look for this passionate thing that then you can throw yourself into that will, create your life and your career and everything else. That may not exist. Just start with the idea that you're here to engage, connect with people, do the best you can, make good choices, be positive, stay happy, get rid of fears. That's your job. So just work on that and let everything else take care of itself.
Thank you so much, as always, Tom. That's great. Really appreciate it.